Hello YouTube, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. So, 2 years ago I had my bilateral orchiectomy surgery. And for those that don't know what a bilateral orchiectomy is, it's basically the removal of your testicles. Now the reason I did this was because it was in alignment with my transition. My life has changed so much since I've had the surgery, and it's changed in ways that I could have never imagined before. And if I had to be like 100% honest with you guys, if I knew back then what I know now, I definitely would have had my surgery earlier. But you know what? I just want to keep it real. So in this video, I want to talk about the pros and the cons of having a bilateral orchiectomy and what it's going to do to your body, or rather what it's done to my body. So obviously I want to start off with the pros and how my body's changed. I think the first and biggest thing, or the first positive thing that I experienced just with my whole journey, is that I didn't have to worry about my hormone or pill regimen. Before my surgery, I was always nervous that if I missed a day, if I missed a week, if I missed a month of taking hormones, that it would fuck up my progress. Look, when you are a trans person and you stop taking your estrogen and your testosterone blocker for a prolonged period of time, your body does in effect go into reverse. And a lot of the male characteristics that you are trying to suppress by taking hormones come back. And for some of us, that creates a lot of anxiety. And I know for myself, like I had to, because of financial constraints, there were times where I couldn't always get my pills. And it would always feel like, I always felt like I was moving forward, like I would take 10 steps forward and then I would take like 50 steps backwards, and I would be right back exactly where I started. Girl, I'd be right back exactly where I started. And I used to fucking hate that. Now, after I had my orchiectomy surgery, there's been, to be honest, that's definitely not an issue anymore. I don't have the same anxiety and I don't worry as much as what I used to. Because look, 2 years after the surgery, things have happened where for a whole month I wasn't able to go on hormones. And you know what? My body didn't change. My boobs didn't get smaller. My face didn't start to get harder. You know what I mean? And for me, that was really, really important. So the fact that I could maintain the progress that I had achieved honestly will always mean the world to me. None of us want to go back to who we used to be. You know what I mean? So the surgeries definitely helped with that. Just getting all that testosterone out of the way. The second pro, I think, for me is, look, as trans women, we are probably always going to have to be on hormones. We're probably always going to have to take estrogen and pills of some sort. And you worry about the effect that this is going to have on your body and on your liver. You know, like I'm 30 years old right now, right? And I have another 50, 60 years left on this planet. Look, that's a long time to be taking estrogen, testosterone blockers, anxiety pills. I don't want to be drugged up for my whole life. And the one thing that I really appreciate about this surgery is that I don't always have to be on pills. Like all of the times, I've reduced the number of pills that I take or my pill intake. Now, I say this with caution because this is going to be different for each and every trans woman. Blah. To each and every trans woman, it's going to be different. But this has definitely been one of the major pros. The third thing, which I think was one of the biggest reasons why I even had the surgery in the first place, was I just wanted to pass. I wanted to be read as female. And I remember being so scared that I was going to take this step and I was going to do this drastic ass thing in my life. And I still wouldn't pass. I still wouldn't be read as female. Now, since I've had the surgery, my body has changed drastically. Obviously, I mean, the surgery, with the added influence of taking hormones, my body's changed drastically. I used to have very hard features. I used to have like really like prominent and noticeable muscles. It just looks like fat now. Like I just look like I've gained some weight. And I have, because of the hormones and the surgery. My body's changed drastically. Any muscles that I used to have that used to make me feel insecure about myself have pretty much disappeared. And the thing is, like, I'm Black African. Like, I'm South African by nationality and ethnicity. And a lot of darker skinned Black South Africans, or rather, let me not even say that, but a lot of people in my family have very like masculine features, and I was always worried that, you know, I was always going to be like a brick bitch. But somehow, miraculously, my body really has changed. It really has changed. And to be honest, I was never ready. I was never ready. I think my main thing back then was I just wanted to be read as female. But what I wasn't expecting was how positively my body would change, you know. Getting boobs, getting like a butt and curves and thighs. And all of those things, like, I never realized how they would help me with my dysphoria. I honestly was never ready. And it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful. Nothing beats being the person that you've always wanted to be. Look, if I knew what I know now back then, like 2, 3, 4 years ago, I'd have had the surgery even earlier. I know I keep saying that, but it's true. It's definitely true. It's definitely helped with my dysphoria. And like, obviously, I think, you know, the 2.5 thing, it's kind of aligned with passing and being read as female, is that obviously, you know, you become more attractive to the opposite sex. And for the longest time, I think when I didn't pass, I just I honestly felt like I was ugly. I felt like I was this hideous creature, and I just had a lot of low self-esteem about my body and what I look like. And after I had the surgery and it was on hormones, I noticed that guys started to notice me, and I was being asked out more and all of those things. So for the first time, I was actually being viewed as attractive. You know that meme where people show pictures of what someone looked like before puberty and after puberty? I can't speak today. but before puberty and after puberty. That's what it felt like for me. It honestly felt like I went through another puberty, and in essence, that's what it was. And just for me personally, it was awesome. Look, for me, those were the main things. Those were the main advantages of having had this surgery. There are probably other things that I take for granted, but overall, I don't regret the surgery. I would do it 10 times over. Now, having said that, there are disadvantages that you have to take into consideration. You are taking testosterone out of your body, which means you have the potential of weight gain. Or at least that's what happened with me. The minute I took the testosterone out of my body, I put on weight like no one's business. Look, it was weird because I've always been super, super thin, like super thin and muscly. And suddenly I had a butt, I had curves, I had a little bit of cellulite. Girl, it happens. And, I started to get a tummy here and there. It happens. It's part of that. It's part of the package. And yeah, like I was never ready for that. The second thing is when you remove the testosterone from your body, or even when you start taking testosterone blockers, your sex drive plummets. It doesn't disappear altogether, but it does become decreased. And that's what happened for me. And look, the men who date transgender women and the guys that are attracted to trans women, some of them don't always understand when you don't have the same libido as them. And this has been a problem. Like, I'll be 100% honest with you. I was with this British guy, and obviously it wasn't the only reason, but a big part of the reason that I feel like things didn't work out was because our libidos just weren't the same. And hey, if there's no boom boom, the guy is gonna, or some stupid guys are gonna leave you. It is what it is, girl. But always remember that you're doing this for you. You're doing this for your journey. So if you're ready to live a life with decreased libido and a bit of weight gain, and look, if you were packing down there, you know what I'm talking about. It can affect your size. Now, if you are one of the girls that want to keep your junk, you also need to take that into consideration. For me, I will happily and gladly take all of those cons because nothing beats being the person that you were always meant to be. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope that it helped someone out there, and I hope that if you're going to have your surgery, your bilateral orchiectomy, that it's as fruitful as what it was for me. I've made other videos where I've talked about the surgery and what sex is like after the surgery and this, that, and the other. I'll link them in the description. But thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you for watching. Bye.